What's up everybody, it's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and welcome to episode 12 of my OP8 Melee Zer0 playthrough. This will actually be the last episode before the warrior fight. I haven't decided if I'm going to do any more in this series other than just the main campaign, but I may eventually go on to doing some side missions or DLC content in the future, kind of in this same series. But right now, I'm concentrated on finishing this main campaign. And right now, we're just outside of Heroes Pass. We're going to go talk to Claptrap now, and he's going to start this whole sequence. We have to take on quite a few robots right outside the door to Heroes Pass. And in this part, Claptrap says some really funny things, especially once you've completed it. It almost always makes me laugh. And this little spill he goes on before it starts is pretty funny too. I think this was some of the funniest Claptrap's been in the entire series, actually. Usually I kind of find him half funny, half annoying, but this time I found him, 100% funny, and one of the funniest things to actually happen in the whole game. Anywho, right now I'm just kind of goofing around with the racks right now. I don't want to have to deal with them and the robots, so I was using my Nova Shield, which is the height of Terramorphous. It's also my Roid and Spike Shield, and that was able to help me take out those racks, and the Grog Nozzle was able to help me survive there. This episode will actually cover this whole sequence here, and then the Heroes Pass sequence that follows this. So I'm just going to go ahead and start working through these gun loaders. Eventually some more dangerous loaders will spawn, such as RPG loaders, war loaders, etc. Or at least I think RPG loaders come. Definitely some war loaders and surveyors come here in a minute though. This section's not too difficult, however it can be kind of a pain if you get caught in a bad area when the enemies actually spawn. Claptrap is obviously going to go through several iterations of thinking that he's got the door open and then finally actually opening the door a little bit after that. The Hyperion female voice that talks here also says some kind of funny, or not funny stuff, but Claptrap plays off of it kind of funny.
Access denied.
You can go up here and kind of hide out behind the turrets if you jump up on this particular pillar. And up here you can survive actually pretty easy until the turrets come, unless you get knocked off this area by a grenade or something. So I'm going to go up here and go ahead and use the slag and corrosive pimpernels to kill some of these gun and fire loaders. Or I guess they're called hot loaders. Obviously the pimpernel has great effect with boar. That one's grenade unfortunately knocked me off there, and so now I had to come down and actually melee these fools. When meleeing hot loaders, make sure you melee with the Grog Nozzle as opposed to the Rapier so that you can avoid death. With the hot loaders being able to apply an intense fire DOT to you, you should definitely watch out for those guys. Right now I have a fire damage over time, and I had to use the Grog Nozzle to tank out of that. Go ahead and kill the rest of these loaders now and get to the next stage. I want to back up a little bit when the turrets spawn, because the turrets can definitely put you down very quickly. If you get in a position where there is no cover, and you actually don't have a second wind to get once the turrets come. This is the hardest part of this little sequence. I recommend falling back just a little bit until there's at least second wind opportunities, because those turrets can beat you up pretty quick, especially at overpower levels at least. I'll go ahead and kill some war loaders under the guise of deception here, and I'll kill other ones from a distance with the pimpernel, while Claptrap hacks the turrets at least. Once he's kind of completed hacking the turrets, I'll advance a little bit further. It's important to kill these surveyors when you have a chance with Melee Zer0, because they are very difficult to execute, unless they're sitting very still like that. Luckily, the Pimpernel, even as Melee Zer0, still can kill enemies at a far very easily because he has Boar, which increases the Pimpernel's damage by quite a bit. Going ahead and getting rid of these hot loaders now. Obviously the turrets are working for us at this point, distracting the war loaders, the gun loaders, and the hot loaders. and that's enabling me to kill them without too much difficulty. Now we just have this surveyor left, it looks like, so we'll go ahead and try to get slag on him, and then start shooting him with the corrosive pimpernel to go ahead and kill him after we've depleted his shield. Unfortunately, he is targeting those turrets as opposed to me, and because of that, he's kind of difficult to actually shoot because he's not flying in a position, based on where I am. He's actually just trying to attack those turrets, and his figure eight's actually a little bit distance from me because of that. We're going to have one more wave of enemies, I think it is now. And this one will actually have some badass enemies, I believe.
Dispatching additional troops.
I remember the first time I came through this area, I was having a little bit of trouble with it. The loaders and stuff overwhelmed me. I wasn't expecting quite a big fight, before the final map. I was expecting once we got into Heroes Pass that's when the game would, really open up and get tough. But this part can actually be kind of difficult, especially if you don't know what to expect. Now that you have probably played through it multiple playthroughs and stuff, it's not quite as bad because you know exactly what's coming. Definitely take the time to kill the surveyors, especially the repair surveyors, if they come down to an area where you can attack them, because you're not going to want to have to kill those actually just flying around in the air after the loaders are done, because they're a lot harder to hit then. I'm using the chain lightning to recover my health from afar. It's important when recovering your health with the chain lightning that you throw it far enough away from yourself, because if you throw it too close to you, or there's an enemy too close to you, it can actually backfire and end up killing you when maybe an enemy wouldn't have, which is definitely something to avoid. Killing the rest of these warloaders now, and we'll be almost all the way through this portion here in just a second. Finish off this super badass loader. Unfortunately, there is one more super badass surveyor up top. I'll go ahead and finish him off with the pimpernel. Go ahead and avoid that exploder with my decoy, my deception. Kill the super badass loader, and finish the rest of these guys off as well. Once you've finished all of these enemies off, the doors will finally stay open. If you actually go up there now while those bars are opening and closing, they will smush you dead. You'll die right away. It'll be kind of funny. It's actually happened to me on more than one occasion, because after Claptrap actually opens it up here with this funny line, it closes one more time, I think. Like, not after he says "and open" here, but right before he says "and open," it closes for one last time, and I've actually got killed by that on multiple occasions before. Obviously, this is a funny line coming up here as well, where he says he can't climb up stairs. I'm sure that will kind of be redacted when the pre-sequel comes out, and Claptrap is a playable character, unless they get around it somehow by having him have that oxygen jetpack or whatever they're going to do about that. So now we're going to head into Heroes Pass. You have to wait for that little check mark to come that says you've followed Claptrap. Otherwise, you'll have to go back and get that check mark in the other area after you've come to Heroes Pass. You'll actually have to travel back to Iridium Blight, which is kind of irritating and not really that good of a thing to happen. So we're going to get started in Heroes Pass now. Obviously, Brick and Mordecai make an appearance in this map, and you'll have to make an adjustment to deal with the way they play as well. Got a good bore on that guy there. I'll use the movement speed boost here to kind of skip through some of these guys. It's not imperative or necessary that you kill all of them. And so I'll just kill what I need to get through and go ahead and get up to this next area a little bit quicker. My goal here is to go ahead and climb the excavator machine and then grenade jump onto the barge that Mordecai is going to be on when Brick brings it down. And that will, give me another little skip and just kind of a funny thing to happen, something cool to do while we work through this little series of scripted events in order to get to the end of Heroes Pass here. Go ahead and jump up here now. Recover my health before my grenade jump with the chain lightning once or twice. I don't kill that last enemy though, because if you do kill that enemy, then you'll go into the next sequence and you'll have to walk around. There will be no opportunity to grenade jump to the barge because it will start to move as soon as you kill that last enemy, basically. I'm going to go ahead and unequip my grenade mod now. Had to drop a little gear that I had acquired during this run in order to have room to unequip the chain lightning. Go ahead and jump over here with my friend Mordecai. I'll reattach the chain lightning now. Go ahead and help Brick kill this guy. Mordecai's shooting at someone way back there, and I don't really care about that. Now that that has happened, we'll go ahead and open this gate. This barge is going to turn around, and we'll be able to shoot at all of the loaders that are back here, and spawn at this little pinch point where you usually have to jump across the bridge because the rockets break it or whatever happens there. This is pretty cool because we get to sit up here with Mordecai and just kind of blow all these guys up. I use equal parts Norfleet and pimpernel, I think, just to kind of kill some of these guys. It helps when Mordecai is slagging. I'm using a shock Norfleet so that I get damage on the loaders as well as Hyperion personnel. I will use the pimpernel at other times though, and I'll switch to the corrosive Norfleet to make sure I deal quality damage to those bots as well. Definitely just don't want to deal with all of these dudes up close and personal. It makes them a lot more difficult when you do it that way. If you stick up here on the Mordecai sniper platform though, you can just kind of use Brick to distract all these guys while you kill them with longer range weapons kind of out of harm's way, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, I think after this you do have to go ahead and jump down, or at least that's what happens to me. Even though I think we've cleared all the enemies, the scripted events won't change until you actually meet up with Brick, kind of where he's paused after he kills this next enemy. So there's one more enemy way back there. I'm trying to help Brick kill it, but I don't have a good line of sight to it, and because of that I'm just going to go ahead and switch to the Norfleet, which will have a large area of effect damage and hopefully help Brick out here. I remember this wasn't a very good part for me. I kind of get stuck here. I should have jumped down a little bit sooner, but I didn't. I wanted the barge to go ahead and move on to the next section, but I couldn't get that to happen for whatever reason, and so I do have to go ahead and jump off the sniper platform here, which is a shame because I would have liked to stay on it because it's kind of fun. Trying to get that line of sight, and I think I eventually decide that I'm going to need a grenade jump to clear this gap. Don't want to come this far and then jump into the lava. That would definitely be a mistake. So I'll go ahead and use my magic missile right quick to try to get slag on this guy. Hopefully, I was thinking the magic missile would, if there was still one enemy left, seek him out and then I'd be able to kill him with the Norfleet. But as it turns out, I think Brick killed that last enemy and they're just waiting on me at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and unequip the magic missile, re-equip the pimpernel, and go ahead and make this jump so I can get on to the next area. Excellent. I'm not sure if I would have made that jump without the grenade jump there, and it's very possible that this enemy that was hiding from us was the last enemy we needed to kill in order to get the sequence to progress, but I don't think that enemy spawns until you've actually come to this little area. I think that was what the major holdup in that series of events was, because I've played through in co-op before where the progress did go ahead and move and I was still able to ride the barge. See how the barge moves now that I've caught up with Brick? If you're playing in co-op mode, you can actually have one or more people stay up on that barge, so long as there is one guy to kind of force the sequence to go ahead. Obviously there is a Hyperion Predator near. You can tell because he has that large area of effect corrosive launcher going on, and this is a very dangerous situation, so I'm going to use the chain lightning to survive and some trickery there to try to get around this nonsense. I definitely don't want to go down here, and there's actually another little skip you can take. So after I've killed enough enemies that I felt safe, I was going to come over here and go ahead and execute my grenade skip. You need a grenade jump to get up to this little platform, another jump here, and then another jump to go ahead and get around this gate. Once you're around this gate though, then you can get back into this area and go ahead and progress without actually killing all those enemies back there. And that will save you quite a bit of time, especially since you won't have to deal with enemies in this area either. That sequence right there outside of that gate actually takes quite a while and is pretty dangerous. Some badass enemies show up and everything. And then you have to actually fight, or maybe would have to fight if the sequence worked out that way to where you kind of got stuck because of that constructor that spawns there. But that constructor didn't spawn until I had already had a follow-through bonus to go ahead and move on to the next area. And that will get you through Heroes Pass a lot quicker, and it enabled me to get through this area pretty quick. It's an excellent little skip there. So now I have just a few more enemies to kill, and we will eventually get to the Warrior's Lair. This is getting nearer to the end of this video, guys, and like I said, it's the second to last video before the final boss, the Warrior and Handsome Jack, which will be covered in the next episode. So I do thank you guys very much for watching this and sticking with this series. I think it went pretty well so far, and I was definitely encouraged by it. It lets me know that some of my Let's Plays will actually do well enough that they're reasonable to go ahead and put forth the effort to produce. And I definitely thank you guys for that and helping me, get this series views and everything so that it is, feasible and whatnot. If you haven't yet, please take the time to subscribe. That would help me out. Otherwise, I hope to catch you next time, especially since that episode will be the finale. I mess around with this constructor here before deciding it was a bad idea. Bye, guys.